Gigi, it's better Queen on the line. Hello everyone, this is Diary of an Explorer. Welcome to this channel. So today guys, I'll be talking about how I traveled to 28 countries as a Nigerian lady. We all know the Nigerian passport, applying for visas, the whole hiccups, you need to apply, you carry the bank statement, you do boom, 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 you carry this one, you need proof of funds, you need proof of what you are doing in Nigeria, you need this one and that one. So now, firstly, I said I started traveling while I was a student, and when I was in Ukraine, I wasn't working, I was just a student. So most times when my mom gives me money, I'm able to like separate out, okay, let's say she gives me a certain amount of money, I separate out some, keep this one for feeding, then after the feeding, the next one for my accommodations, and then I squeeze out money for travel. Now, the good thing about it was that traveling when I was in Ukraine was easier and cheaper, because when you're traveling from Europe to another European country, we all know how much the tickets. You can see tickets of $30, $20, $50, $100. But I think the most important trick I used while applying for visa that saved me costs is, for example, what I first did was when I wanted to apply for my visas, I usually apply for long-term visas. For example, when I applied for my UK, well, even before I applied for my 10 years UK visa, I first did the 2 year, the 6 month, then the 2 years. So what I do is when I apply for the 2 years visa, right, I just now plan my trip ahead of time. I write down the list of countries I want to go for the year, and then I have like an overview of how much this is going to cost me. Now, for example, I want to be in US by the end of the year. I start now to buy the ticket, because me, what I do is I buy my ticket, I first buy the ticket, the next money I get, I use it to pay for my accommodation, the next money I get, I know that one is just going to be when I go on the journey. Do you get? So I try to see how to calculate it. So, for example, now, when I'm going to the US, I don't like to travel to one country. If I'm going to the US, so I'm going to North America, so I can likewise from North America go to Mexico. Do you get? So I check the ticket. How much is it going to cost me to go to North America, to go to United States? I just buy a round trip ticket from Nigeria to United States and back. Then I also now start checking tickets. Okay, from New York to Mexico to Cancun, how much is it going to cost me? Now, if Mexico is expensive, when I'm checking, I check another country. I check maybe another country that is also in North American space. I keep permutating the data to now see which one is going to work for me. And then when I do that, the next thing I now do is, okay, I now start saving up for the ticket. Now I save up for the ticket. Most times I use PiggyVest. PiggyVest has been a lifesaver for me, and this is not a paid ad. This is not a paid ad, but yes, PiggyVest has been a lifesaver. Whenever I get money, okay, if it's 50,000 naira, 100,000, depending on the amount of money I get and depending on the work I do and how much I get, I always deposit a certain amount of funds. Like there's a percentage of funds that go to my traveling account. So I have an account that is strictly just for my travels, because my travel is my addiction. So it's something I really like to do all the time, and you get, so something I really enjoy doing. So when I now get my ticket, let's say I get my ticket, I now know, okay, it's only my hotel that is remaining and my feeding, and I'll save money again for it. So the way I was able to travel to the number of countries I did is, like I said, when I'm traveling on one journey, I like to do multiple countries. Like I remember the last time I traveled to Portugal, right? When I went to Portugal, I did, okay, it was the UK. I think what happened was, I don't know, I'm always playing with these flight apps and all these things to just know which cheap ticket. So it happened that I was going through tickets, and that was the time Airpeace just launched their route from Lagos to London. Now, the moment Airpeace did that, their distance dropped. Like the prices of ticket, like I was so surprised. A round trip ticket to the UK was around $600. I have never seen that happen, especially since I got back to Nigeria, and I've been trying to see what ticket. $600 was the ticket, and then I was checking other airlines, it was low. So I just really understood it was because Airpeace reduced their price, so other competitors also reduced the prices. So I hopped on that ticket. I was like, yes, let me use it to get to the UK. Then when I did to the UK, and I said, okay, now I'm in Europe, why not go to other countries? And I'm like, okay. Then that's how I now said, okay, let me apply. I traveled to, I already had a Schengen visa, right? So I traveled to Portugal, I traveled to Spain, Spain, I traveled to Belgium. I did the three countries, then with the UK, making it the 4 countries on one trip. So that's how I do my own trip. I like to merge several countries together. Now that's one trip. That's one tip. Another thing I also do is when I buy my ticket, I like to buy it earlier. So most times when I apply for visas, I don't like really visas that give short stay. I like long-term visas. I like those long-term visas. Like for example, for the UK, I have like 10 years. It gives me time. It's not every time because trust me, even if I know the whole process of applying for visa, it's stressful. You have to have 6 million in account. You have to have 10 million in account. You have to do this one. You have to bring tax clearance certificate. All those things are stressful. But yes, so most times, especially if you are just traveling for fun, then you have to know how to calculate your money to be able to work. And I also cut my coat according to my size because you are not about yet doing see, if you ask somebody who is that person that cuts her coat according to her size, is it Palmer better job? I am not kidding. I'm not even playing. I usually cut my coat according to my size. If I'm to stay in a hotel, how much is it going to be? And if I check my hotel and it's getting to 150 euros per night, we are not doing that shit though, because I'll tell you the truth. You know what I'm telling myself? I'll be like, that 150 euros that I want to go pay and stay in a 1-day hotel, I would use it to oh yeah, we're going to do flight. Imagine 50 euros from Ega Ubagodo flight or use Ubagodo taxi. So I really cut my coat according to my size. I have an amount that I don't like to pass in hotels. If the country cannot give me that amount of this thing, I go for another one. Especially for US, you can't see a hotel less than, before you see a hotel less than $100 per day in US, you know what you must have looked for it and how long you have looked for it. So what me I do is I generally go to Airbnb or shared apartment. That's how I do it though. It's except maybe I have a friend, maybe okay, because I have a couple of people that I know in the States, so maybe I want to visit my friend. But if I want to just go on the trip just without visiting anybody, then I will stay in an Airbnb. If I'm staying in an Airbnb, the room to myself, the bedroom to myself, but other things are shared. But that's what I can afford, and that's what I'm going for. I'm not going to do it because I want Nigerian big girl. Jamie, so yes, that's another thing. I cut my code according to my size. Also for taxis, if I'm going to a country that is cheap, Cyprus, all these countries that are very cheap, right? I don't mind using the taxis though. But if I go to a country that, especially like UK, New York, also United States, you just put taxi that was 20 minutes, you'll be seeing $50, you'll be seeing 50 euros, I'll be £50. Ha! Oh! Me, well, whenever I travel, I don't like to convert, okay, how much is this currency to Naira? I don't know why. I don't like to do it because, like, for me, it just doesn't make sense, right? Why it doesn't make sense for me is because I'm spending on the currency. So if I keep converting all the money, I'm not going to actually spend. I will not be doing anything. So what I just do is I try to calculate to know how much did you budget out for this trip. You get, like, what did you budget out for this particular trip? Right? And make sure you are only using on that money. I remember this is my last trip that I went to, not the very last one, but when I traveled to the UK and I did Belgium and other countries that I did all together. That was how I was living la vida loca, until I opened my wallet. I saw how much was remaining in my pocket, and I'm like, it's like you want to end up in McDonald's. And literally, I don't want to end up in McDonald's. That's how you see your girl. I said entry buses. I now knew where to go and buy the bus ticket, the train ticket, how to use the train apps, everything, because we are working on a budget. So for me, being able to navigate 28 countries were just because I was able to manage my resources and manage them well, and effective planning. There's no two ways about it. Also, when I'm back to work, because obviously it's money, you will not use, I don't know what to say, to go and buy a ticket. You have to use money to buy the ticket, right? So what I do is I plan, and then when I'm not also traveling, I'm really working my ass out. Like, it has to be a marathon walk. Apart from the travel company I run, I also run a school. I also have other things on the side. So I do all those things back to back to back to back to be able to afford to travel, because I know sometimes, especially with the way I want to travel to lots of countries within a limited period of time, I know how much I have that has to go into savings, right? And so I want to make you understand that as long as I did it, you can also do it. And for me, I feel like even just visiting just 28 countries is low, but I believe we can still travel to more. I have lots of women on social media that are inspiring me, to travel. I've seen people that have traveled to 150 something countries, for people that have done all of them, like even travel to all the countries in the world. And I'm really hopeful that I keep traveling to more countries. I take you people on the journey, and I try to be transparent about, okay, how much I spend, what I do. I'm not here trying to tell you, okay, to be forming what I'm not. No, we're not doing, this is no forming zone. No. No forming zone. We are going to do it, tell you as it is. You get? So yes. Now, which country exceeded my expectation? I would say that country is Austria. I think I traveled to Austria when I was still in Ukraine. I traveled from Ukraine to Austria. When I applied for Austrian visa, I was just, can just go do vacation. Can malu yene me go there now. Say kanga Austria. I was not really expecting anything, wow. But when I went to Austria, Austria is almost like Germany, man. The organization, everything about the country was, the people especially. Like, because as a solo traveler, because most of the times I travel solo. I can count the amount of countries I've been to that I went to someone. Like, most times I'm always traveling solo. So, okay, you now want to take pictures, you're by yourself. I was not even traveling with a tripod. How do I do this thing? The moment you ask someone, take me a picture, the person is even ready to kneel, like literally kneel down and like let the person get a good angle. So I love the country, I love the people, I loved everything about the country, and everything was really nice. Another country I also loved very well is, in fact, a country that no matter the amount of times I visit it, I'm not going to get tired, is United States. That country gives me everything I want. I've been to New York, I've been to other parts of the United States, and trust me, it gives a relaxing feeling. And I feel, for me, one of the reasons why I like United States is because of the way that even when you are in the country, you don't even feel like you're away from home. Maybe because of the amount of blacks too in the country, and you are never, for flights, you can check Skyscanner, you can check other travel deals, you can check Google Flights. There's just lots of options for the flight and budget well. And I just want to let you know, so my goal and vision is to really make travel accessible to lots of people and make you understand that traveling is actually possible. You get? Like, it's possible. Leave all these people that are making all this travel look like there is something else in it. Really, trust me. If I can do it, you can do it. So subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'll be giving you more tips and tricks on how to navigate the world. And we're going to navigate the world together, because we're going to travel around the world and we're going to speak to millions of people. Stay tuned to Diary of an Explorer. Check me on Instagram too, and other of my social media platforms. Thank you.